Chapter 9, Part 2, Using the Harmonic Major Scale. Now let's focus on the harmonic major scale. Like its brother, it is very similar. Harmonic major scale would be spelled C, D, E, F, G, A flat, B, C. The third and the seventh are raised, and the sixth is the only note lowered. Like its brother, the harmonic major scale has 7 modes. Mode 1 is usually called C Ionian, flat 6. It is spelled C, D, E, F, G, A flat, B, C, and that works well over C major 7 chords. Mode 2 is called Dorian flat 5, and that would be spelled D, E, F, G, A flat, B, C, D, and that typically works over half diminished chords. Mode 3, the Phrygian flat 4, is spelled E, F, G, A flat, B, C, D, E. That typically works really well over minor 7th chords. Mode 4, Lydian flat 3, is spelled F, G, A flat, B, C, D, E, F, and that works well over minor with major 7th extensions. Mode 5 goes by the name Mixolydian flat 2, and that is spelled G, A flat, B, C, D, E, F, G, and that works well over dominant 7th flat 9 chords. Mode 6, the Lydian augmented sharp 2. That would be spelled A flat, B, C, D, E, F, G, A flat, and that works well over major 7th with a sharp 5. Finally, we have Mode 7. That is typically called Locrian double flat 7. That would be spelled B, C, D, E, F, G, A flat, B natural, and that works well over fully diminished 7th chords. As I have done through the entire book so far, now I have all the harmonic major scales and their modes for you. They're now coming up. The harmonic major scales and modes will work the same way as the harmonic minor modes and scales. Each mode is associated with a particular chord type as outlined previously. At this time, here is an example entitled Harmonic Major Scale Example 1. And as you can see, I have the scales written out, I have the suggested modes written out and scale forms written out, and I also have a very lightly sketched improv line. And this is something I typically encourage my students to do when you're first starting in this. Feel free to kind of sketch something out to kind of get a feel and a flow for doing this. And this way you get a real idea of your rise and fall, can really take a look at what you're doing horizontally versus vertically, and working with all that within the chordal structures and the scales. Like most jazzers, I have a list of favorites I go to when I am improvising. Depending upon the song that I am working on, this is what scale forms I tend to gravitate to. 1. Blues scales. 2. Modal scales. 3. Diminished scales. 4. Whole tone scales. 5. Half diminished chords. And when I see them, I automatically think Locrian 13, Mode 2, Harmonic Minor Scale. And I just use that every time that particular chord will come up. Number 6, if I have dominant 7th with flat 9 extensions, I always gravitate first to the Mixolydian flat 2, which is Mode 5, Harmonic Major. And then if I have fully diminished 7th chords, you have several options, but one I tend to gravitate to first is the Locrian double flat 7, Mode 7 Harmonic Minor Scale. And as with all scales, there will be certain notes that may or may not sound as good. Just remember that you have the option of skipping them or play them on the offbeats, such as passing tones, or make a statement and deliberately play them on the strong part of the beat. Okay, so at this time, I would like you just to sit back, listen and enjoy as you follow through on the music as I play this example. Let's look at the analysis now. So if you go back and look at measure 1, I use the Aeolian scale for the A minor 7. In measure 2, I use the B Locrian mode 2 harmonic minor scale for the B minor 7 flat 5. For the E7 flat 9 chord in measure 2, I use the 5th mode of the harmonic major scale, spelled E, F, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E. And it really covers all the chord tones and extensions very well. Measure 3 is the same as measure 1, which is Aeolian scale. Measure 4 is the same as measure 2, where I use the B Locrian, mode 2 harmonic minor, for the half diminished chord. In measure 5, I use the Aeolian scale for the A minor. In measure 6 and 7, they are a 2-5-1 progression, so I use C Ionian starting on D for both measures, and that really worked well. In measure 8, for the C sharp diminished chord, I use the 7th mode of the harmonic minor scale, spelled C sharp, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C sharp. For the second chord, which was an A7 flat 9, I use the 5th mode of the harmonic major scale. In measures 9 through 11, there was another 2-5-1 progression, so again, I use the C Ionian scale for all 3 measures. In measure 12, I use F Ionian, and you would use the B flat as a passing tone. So in measure 13, as before, when we had a B minor 7 flat 5, I use the Locrian 13 harmonic minor scale. In measure 14, I use the 5th mode of the A harmonic major scale. For measure 15, I use A Aeolian for the A minor 7. And for measure 16, again, for the half diminished 7th, the B minor 7 flat 5, I use B Locrian harmonic minor. For the E7 flat 9, I use the 5th mode of the A harmonic major scale. And in the last measure, again, I use the A Aeolian scale. Like I say at the end of every chapter, hopefully this is all starting to come around to you and starting to make a lot of sense. Feel free to go back and review. You can go to my website and just go back and play the examples. You can listen to them. You could just study them. And when you finally feel comfortable, you can move on. On my website, there are lots of practice exercises for you with PDF sheet music and backing tracks. And my website is jazzbook.com, spelled JAZZBK.com.